just like that. It's Saturday. It was Thursday just now. That time shift thing is really flying along at a great pace, isn't it, folks? Solar eclipse. Light being absolute. The pyramids being submerged. Light being absolute and the pyramids being submerged were my two, because they're both slam dunks, okay? And now the big one is it flat or is it round? Now, light being absolute, we have this local moon thing. The sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse, okay? When you're looking up at the moon, there's a sweet spot on planet Earth, and right directly behind the moon, you could see the sun's corona around the moon. Now this is where it gets crazy. This 299,792 kilometers per second for the speed of light. So it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for light to reach us from the sun. How on earth do people find an angle anywhere where the sun is not directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse? This is one of the biggest questions, right? And the answer to that question has the ramifications are out of the ballpark, because one of the flat earth things is the moon and the sun being close together. Everything that I've been saying over the years, right? Science, Roma, this Fitzo, this rubbish. All of it indirectly is telling us that Earth is round. But it's all lies. It's not about whether it's round or flat or go away. All of the science is rubbish. That is a fact. This thing needs to go and do one. It is a fact. Roma, how? With no accurate timekeeping devices. How? They say Galileo went up on a hill, told an assistant to go on an opposite hill. What a load of rubbish. As if he would do that if he was the person, the scientist they say he was. But again, he had no accurate timekeeping devices. So what was he going to do? How was he going to guess? It's these very basic and easy to work out little things everywhere that people are denying. The science, it's fabricated. They have rewritten history, right? There's nowhere to go on this. Which then brings me back to the flat earth and round earth. I have always thought it was a globe. I had no reason not to think it was. It never really came up. We thought moon, earth, spin, yada yada, tilt, seasons, hot, cold. But now I find myself look, I'm obviously severely leaning towards the flat earth. All of the reasons that globers have. No, it's round because of this, because of the pictures, and because of gravity, the moon, the tides. Again, just because the moon is above a high tide, when there's a high tide somewhere on Earth, it's a coincidence. It does not matter. Where the moon is, right, when it comes to the tides, there is no link. There is nothing to suggest that the moon is dragging the water. If it is, or if it was, Why are none of the smaller bodies of water moving? The lakes and the seas. Why do they not shift? Why are the highest tides on Earth all up north? Bay of Fundy, Ungava Bay, there, the Cook Inlet, the Bristol Channel, Los Gallegos down in South America. Why? It's all illogical. If the moon was doing what they say it's doing, the bulge would be running along the equator. But it's along the equator, there is next to nothing going on tide-wise. The Mediterranean, the Gulf of Mexico. It doesn't matter how you look at these things, in which order you look at them. If you use logic and basic common sense to look at these things for what they are, there is a massive shout out for Earth being flat. Now me, I go where the evidence is. I don't have that hang up where I have to stick to what I've been taught and I'll go down with the shit. What a load of rubbish. It's the lies that are being told. Again, it's not about flat or round. It's the lies, the science. Light is absolute. There is no delay. I used to ask for explanations for a delay. Explain to me how it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Explain to me how the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse, even knowing that in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, Earth spins 2.08 degrees on its axis. You can't be stood in photons that have been traveling for 8 minutes and 20 seconds, as well as seeing the light source that radiated those photons 8 minutes and 20 seconds earlier. It's illogical, it's impossible, it defies logic and it defies common sense. A lot of this right here, it's almost like there is a spell, something where people cannot use logic, they cannot use common sense, they can't do the 1 + 1 = 2. So much is pointing towards the flat Earth, right? And to all of the round earthers, where the fuck is the curvature? Where is your curvature? It isn't there. 100 meters, you should have 8 millimeters drop, right? 1K, 8 centimeters. 100 meters, 8 millimeters. Where is it? You can stick by the photon and the illogical reality warping science that you think is real. But if you think for yourself and you mental picture of a solar eclipse, if you've ever seen one, it is very obvious what is happening. The moon is blocking the sun. It's not blocking anything that has come off of it and has been traveling for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. What it's doing is blocking the sun. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. Now, if people cannot understand how obvious it is, there is something wrong. Logic and common sense. It's easy peasy. 1, 2, what is it? Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Look. Logic and common sense, right? There's that, what is it, the 100 monkey effect. You've got to just keep going and going and going. And once it gets to about 100 monkeys who change their mind about something, a thing starts, momentum, and other people catch on. That's why everyone who is doing the same kind of thing that I do, that's why we do it. Because it needs to be done. I'm going to leave it there, but just before I knock off, I just want to slightly off of topic. I say off topic, everything is connected. I get Scratchies. Like every week I get $10. I get two $5 live the lives, right? Every week, $10. You scratch, and then at the very end, there's that one that says, scratch this single one to reveal a prize, right? It's a $20 prize. Like they cost me $5 each. Look what you have to scratch off. Reveal a symbol, a pizza symbol, to win $20. Now, a pizza. Like these people wouldn't know? It's everywhere, folks. It's everywhere. All right, folks, I will be back. Laters.